seemed to resolve themselves by the end of the night. And besides, we had the issue with the two business owners, and we also had a visit from, what's his name? From the health department.
Bill.
Yeah. Yes. There was an issue where when I was filing for the permit with Mike Drager at the city, supposedly they are supposed to send the permit request from me to the chief of police and the health department, but they didn't send it to the health department. So we had our visit from Bill, who was very upset about needing
I
to
talked
be
with
downtown.
him a little bit. He was my teacher. So
Yes.
I talked over with him, explained to him what happened. He calmed down. He was okay.
Yeah.
He just says, I wish somebody would have. I said, well,
So now we know.
Duly noted.
Yes.
Mr. Robertson, we'll give you a call.
Yeah. Which I'm happy to do
Yeah.
when we do that stuff. But yeah, so I think those were some of my takeaways. Beyond that, of course, I heard everyone was excited about people being in the businesses. I know Ann had a good night. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to kind of evaluate sales.
Our sales tend to stay the same regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing that we focus on is not what we sell that day, as much as warming up to that point where people want to come in and see, get a quick peek of what's going on,
Yeah.
and then the sales that happened after.
Yeah.
You know, the following week, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The day of, our sales tend to fluctuate $100, $200 throughout those times.
Yeah.
But when the following Tuesday, the following Wednesday, the following Thursday, people that were there came back and couldn't wait to get back. Oh, we were here Saturday, was so busy. Friday was so busy, but we came back during this time because we figured we'd get a better look. That's what we look for. And that's what this event's got to do, is create not just one day of traffic, 30 days of traffic.
Exactly.
So did you get that?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
So did I.
Right.
Yep,
And
so did
I've
we.
got 5 coupons of mine returned, the 25% off coupons.
I've gotten 0, but
I got 0.
Did you
Coupons.
put them with the cookies? Yours weren't
Coupons.
with the cookies.
no, I'm talking about the flyer, sorry.
Oh yeah, 02.
Yes, okay.
02. But that's all.
Barbara works for me. She said those flyers were very sharp. She was impressed. She's 80 years old and she's looking at printed stuff, but the ones you mailed out.
Yeah.
So Barb's like, "Oh, this is a good thing," and I'm like, "Let's see how much traffic it drives, because we do ask everybody at the counter, how'd you hear about it?"
Right, absolutely.
I'm going to say for the cookie problem, at Thieves, which was not, it's like last minute.
Right.
I saw people looking through the door and walkway, like 30 people, 40 people. I said, okay, this ain't working. So even though I had my phone is going full force, I opened my door, it had music playing. I bet you I get 300 to 350 people come through there. It was amazing.
The trick is we've got to focus
That's awesome.
on.
I love hearing that.
One of the things we need to focus on is something that I had mentioned with Josh that somebody had complained about through a text message, that it was one of the people that were down there. They got nervous and left early. And it was a great message. It wasn't nothing super derogative. It was just like, these were things that she's seen that kind of made her feel a little uncomfortable. She had to leave.
Yeah.
And it had to do with how fast traffic was coming down Main Street.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And
Fast traffic.
there was people flying, and
I
I
know
actually
they-
seen
I
the
know they
La
fly down
Familia
Orange through the
bikers.
intersection.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Sure.
whoa, we were
They do.
gassing
Yeah.
and flooring it down Main Street. There was a few people that did that. The pylons or the barricade things that you put out,
Mm-hmm.
it would be something to think about. Maybe getting Carter Copies to make up a couple vinyl stiff board signs, the corrugated signs that we could mount the day of
Yeah.
on those things that
Slow
says
down.
slow down traffic, or slow down through the event 10 miles an hour.
Special
We're gonna talk to the
event.
city about that. Hey,
Yeah.
we're able to do that, something along that
And
line.
that's a great opportunity
slow down for
to
a special
market
event.
our event. To
Right.
have a banner out there that says, first Friday, slow down, have a great day.
Right,
Your friends on Main Street.
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So great.
So the one
marketing
person had left because she had little ones, and she said the concern was is when she came across Arch Street, somebody blew through the light when people were standing there, and they started to walk, and they had to stop because somebody just,
Oh, yeah.
they're not
Well,
used
they
to
come
that.
flying down
Yeah.
the Arch all
They
the time.
do.
So
They come
if we had a
down
thing
Arch.
up here on Arch Street by
Of
the
course,
post
cops go
office,
super fast
maybe
too.
You're right
And
about
I'm like,
that.
right before
Set
the
a good
turn lanes to
example.
slow,
I lived
slow
on
down
Arch.
for
I
the
see them
event
doing.
or
They must be doing
something along that
60,
line,
70
because
miles per
last
hour
thing
going
we
down
need
there. Just
somebody
flying.
getting hit.
Yeah. Well, that concerned me up to the event. I was glad no one was.
Right.
But we did get also a couple comments about the streets being open and not closed.
Right.
And I think that it's tricky because I also feel that we had an attendance that we shouldn't expect as typical from the December 2nd event.
Agreed.
And I think that with what came with the crowds was really attributed to just the quantity of people
Right.
and,
It was
and
wonderful.
traffic. Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
that was great.
Yeah.
So, you know, I
Those
think that-
problems I'm not afraid to have.
Yeah.
Yes.
You follow me? Having the sidewalks packed is not
No,
a bad
It's
problem.
all good.
That's-
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
no, I just
Yeah.
I think that I almost,
I like the picnic tables out there.
I did too.
Yeah,
Even,
me
even if
too.
it
Very
wasn't
good.
Me too.
used,
Me
it
too.
created part of the ambience.
Have
Yes.
a picnic table.
The other thing we have is an issue with fallout. And what I mean by that is, where was the police department? Where was the fire department?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
was all these things
Well, they
that we're
didn't
supposed
show.
to, nobody,
No.
none of
Because
that
I
stuff.
was short-staffed, so I didn't get to
Never
go
get to
out
see
and
it,
look
right,
at
yeah.
anything.
So,
But
the
I
didn't get it.
What a
problem,
letdown there. Let me
Right.
tell you.
It was,
and that's
yeah.
why I was saying with
So
that, we
no
need to
shows.
we need the city involved with us directly,
Yeah.
so,
So the
they feel
police-
like they're
some
part.
accountability, hey, why
so
weren't
they
you
feel
there?
like they're
You
part
know?
of this.
I got
because
a call
this
back,
will affect-
whatever the chief of police's name was, the week before the event, and he was really excited. The fire department was really excited, but of course, at the end of the calls, they're like, you know, as long as no emergencies come up, if we don't need the extra squad car, we'll send it down. I called the beginning of the week, and no confirmation. I think that they were just like, yes, we want to come. You know, as long as nothing happens, depending on how staffing goes. And I'm like,
And everybody was
okay,
like, you
and-
want to go right now? Nah.
and I think that was disappointing for me because the initial contact with the police and fire department, they were really excited about being invited.
Right.
They were like, "Oh, thanks for reaching out. Like, we would love to do this." And I
Especially
think,
since they're downtown anyway.
yeah, I think
Just gotta pull out of the garage.
it's just going to involve. I think it's just going to involve keep offering it to them
Yeah.
until they actually do it.
But we gotta
and
stop
see-
advertising that it's gonna be taking place.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Yes.
Just, we did.
Yeah,
We did?
We all talked about
Yeah.
touching
And
the
you-
cop car,
Yeah,
touching the
because-
police car.
But also
Yeah.
advertising it also holds accountability, right?
Right, exactly, that's what I'm
So-
I
saying.
would think.
No, I remember on the
Yeah, you
flyers,
would.
I very specifically made sure that we were.
Well, when we did the Channel 11, we talked about it. When we
Okay.
did, whenever I did the posts, I wrote down the things in the top, the header, what was going on.
Yeah.
And even our Santa Claus, we had told him about it. He made mention of it during
Yeah.
the conversation, so.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I know.
Because
Yeah.
I think
Was there no
that
Santa Claus?
having those
Or was it?
local services be there validates that the city's behind it because
Yeah,
people,
I
the
agree.
locals
Right.
don't think that's valued down here, but when they see other officials
Yeah.
validating it, then it's like,
The
okay.
biggest
Yeah.
complaint, the absolute biggest complaint, if you looked on the social media site, everybody had said, what happened to lighting the tree?
Yeah, I saw
And
those.
What
so
happened to the
those
tree?
were,
I didn't say, I
Oh
never
my
made
all
it
they
down
did
there.
was light the ground up to the tree like a memorial
What
tree.
about the high school choir and everything?
They were there.
They were there.
They did a
Okay.
Did
great
you guys
job.
not see the video?
No.
I'll text
and-
you.
They did
and
a
also,
great
I didn't-
job.
I never
I
made
didn't
it down
watch the
street.
video, but.
Third issue is
I
we
got
gotta
it.
get lighting. That
Oh,
is
that's
the
Yeah.
big issue
Okay.
downtown.
Yeah.
Behind our buildings here, this alley that runs behind
Where-
our
where-
building,
where people should be
there's
parking?
like 5 lights and like one is working and the other are burned out. Do you know how many times we've asked us, please change the light bulbs?
Yeah.
Because that alley
We-
is
before,
dark.
yeah,
We
about a year
have
and a
our
half we've
lights
been telling them
that
that.
motion activated when they walk past, and you got a nice light down there, but it's like, why don't you light those
It's
great
so
big
dark
freaking
behind
lights?
that
This is
building.
why we
Is
need
it
to
city?
connect with the
Is
city.
it city?
Yes.
It's the alley that
Yes.
the street lights
I
there.
talked to Mark Locke
But
about it.
not
we
just
talked to
alley,
Mark-
the alley and over on Prospect. So it's both sides of the big empty lots back there.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants to park back there. It's
Yeah.
Because
dingy,
it's
dark,
dark.
and
It's
scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
It's true.
It's
I
dark.
guess I could spend like $150 and put a big light up on top of my building that would, one of those big.
Well, the biggest part of the lighting wasn't just that. The street.
Yeah.
If you look at the videos, the lighting was very, very poor.
Very
In
dim.
fact, if it wasn't for Josh's table light for the raffles, he stuck that on the ground. Santa Claus pictures, the rest of them would have been in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
In that
dark,
pocket
dark.
park, there's times you go by, that pocket park's lit up, and all of a
That's-
sudden, we go by with Santa there, and it's dark.
Yeah.
We couldn't
Oh,
figure it
really?
out. So what I want to propose is at the end of Christmas. I know we're not gonna be able to do it for the next event per se, unless I can rush and get it. But as soon as Christmas is over, Josh and I have already agreed that we're gonna go to Walmart. We're gonna buy up all the Christmas bulbs and all the lights we can get for 80-90% off. okay? And then if I can get a whole bunch
Maybe
of,
the 23rd or 24th because
right,
usually we started the week
right before, yeah.
Christmas.
So that way we can wrap the poles with lights. The only thing we just gotta get approval from the city that we can
Because
plug it in up above.
Because every pole has a plug, yeah.
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 So if we just wrap every one of them with lights coming down, the city doesn't even have to wrap them. We'll
But
buy the
even-
lights, we'll put them up.
no,
Just
even
okay
the
to run
lights-
the electricity,
That
that's all.
should be
The
okay.
lights in Arch Park here,
Yeah.
they've been burning out for years, and
Yeah,
since we started working on the side building, and they said, oh, it should be working, they just never get around to doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've definitely got some accountability with the
with
city
with
right
the
now.
lights, there's the ones that project and then they have the moving thing on it.
We could do
Because
something like
down
that.
there where people didn't go and the cat place, and people didn't go to the cat place because you looked down Arch and it was dark.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a sign and put the LED lights on the sign with the arrow pointing down, and then we're gonna put one of those things that projects it onto the building, so people can say, oh, what's going on down there? Look at all them bright lights shining on the
Right.
building that
We could even
motion as well as just,
project moving lights
and we're gonna
out
put
of like a third floor of a building, because we got
Right.
two tall buildings next to each other, so we could do something that shines down like on the street, with
Yeah.
some movement.
And I'm sure you've seen what Ann did with the one tree. She plugged it in,
Mhm.
but she has
Yes.
electricity coming out of her building down.
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
yeah.
And my only concern about that was we've had problems with the barrels falling over.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
down here.
we went through and repacked them full of, I mean, the things are where the buckets can't get any more, they're so full. So we've got them packed where they're not falling over, except for the one at the chamber. That one fell over because it's sitting in the mud and they want it there to cover up the dirt hole.
Yeah,
But
twice
the
it
problem
fell
is,
over,
the
yes.
dirt hole softens and the barrel starts to want to fall into it.
Yeah.
So I've got to either get the city to put concrete there, or they're just going to find something else to put there and move the barrel off under the concrete.
Just moved 3
Yeah,
feet.
that's,
Right.
but I've done it and it's been moved back.
Oh,
So,
I'm surprised they actually had an initiative to move it like that.
yeah. So the problem with that is it's just soft dirt and rain, and next thing you know, things laying over
Well,
a couple
You
winds.
have to take out some of the dirt and put some gravel it in to make
Right.
it so it drains and,
Well, if they just put a piece of slab of concrete
Well,
back in the
that
hole
works
and.
Like it should have been.
Yeah.
yes,
Well, what happens,
that's
they cut
where
a
the
tree
tree-
out of there.
that was where
Oh,
the
that's
tree
right.
is, so
Okay.
they,
Yeah.
yeah.
It made me think, we might want to plant something there.
Right, put something there and then move the barrel over.
So,
But lighting is a big issue. People did complain about lighting, and we noticed the lighting ourselves, especially in the pocket park and walking down the
Oh,
street. In the videos, it was dark.
yeah,
It was dark.
yep,
And if
I
we
guess
just had them
also
around
used to
those
it, I don't
poles,
think,
just
maybe.
something to accent.
yep, like on the outside of the cat place, we're gonna put a big spotlight right over the door. Cause we
Yeah.
noticed the little light that's there is burnt out, so we're gonna replace it with
Yeah, I
the,
need to
Shelley's
do the
husband
same
does
for my
electrical,
building,
he's
too.
gonna replace that.
Okay.
The other
So
thing
that-
is the music playing outside's been a big, people have made comments, oh wow, I love it. The destination store,
Yeah.
music's playing.
Yeah, we hear it when I walk the
Uh,
dogs in
I've
the
got
morning, in the
music
middle of the night,
playing.
the music's playing, yeah.
And then
We haven't set that up yet.
Max Attic,
I need to set
Yeah,
my-
They
I knew
got
Max
music.
Attic was.
they got music playing. I got 2 speakers, right?
Yeah, you did. I
I'll
just
put that on my
have.
list.
Yeah.
So I have a new full-time employee, so I'm investing in downtown by
Is that
hiring
who you were
full-time.
walking by with?
Ethan.
Awesome.
hmm
Awesome.
So he's got some corporate background. He knows about setting goals and upselling and things like that. And he's a comedian on the side, so he's got a creative
A
side.
comedian or a joke?
And he's a local person, and he's like, oh, I didn't know. I said, you know, I don't wear beach. Oh, I've heard about it. I said, have you been to Fun Time? I've heard about it. And I'm like, oh, because we had some people come. They came to town because of Fun Time. They rented a hotel room because they came to Fun Time. They came to the escape room because Fun Time was like X amount of time. They still had time on their hand.
Yeah.
Then the next morning, because they went to the escape room, they said, oh, you got all this stuff? They wanted to go to the Cat Cafe. From the Cat Cafe, they came to Troll. So those people came and dropped, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars,
Cool.
$200-300, not counting what they paid for the hotel.
That's cool.
And don't recommend the Holiday Inn, she said. I told them the only one I'll recommend is the Hampton Inn because it's the newest.
Yeah.
And the other ones had change in ownerships, and I'm like, I don't know. Used to know the people that ran them, but then they changed. And anyways,
Yeah.
so there is the perfect example of tourism, bringing people to
Yeah.
town and then
And-
pushing them up and down the street to go do things.
That's a good way for you to co-market. Like you should see what you
Yeah,
guys
it's-
can do together with Fun
Mhm.
Time.
The other thing is Dad always asks, as he's at the counter for these events, how'd you guys hear about us?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
where did you guys see
We
us
write
at?
it down too.
Right,
Mhm.
Facebook,
Where'd you
Facebook,
come? Where'd you
Facebook.
come?
Yeah.
The other thing that they said, we asked, where'd you come from? And we had people for that event that were from Niles, West Virginia, Cleveland, I mean, those are like the perimeters that you could say, hey, this is where they came from. So seeing that kind of reach, and
Yeah.
people came to our First Friday versus the First Friday anywhere else in Ohio that they could have went to. Some of them drove 45 minutes an hour to get here.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool to see that it reached that far and you got them downtown and new faces. Because when you see new faces come in, the first thing you want to say is, "You guys been here before?" "No, it's our first time."
Yeah.
"Great. How'd you hear about us?" You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that would have been a mess without the map. You see that, right?
Yeah.
Like they already, even with
Yeah.
the map, couldn't figure out where to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know that map was.
I was a little surprised, I think, by how many people I asked. There was a lot of Alliance. There was a lot of like high school age or Mount students.
Sure.
And they just didn't. They'd never been downtown. You know,
That's,
when I
no,
asked,
that's
like,
every
"Hey,
day.
have
That's
you
every
ever
day.
have you ever been down here before? Like, do you know where stuff's at?" And then everyone's like,
Wow.
"No,
We just-
no,
a
no,
few
no,
days ago
no."
talked to
And
some
that
girls
was-
from sorority who's
Wow.
looking
I mean,
for
I'm not
I
even
didn't
from
know that.
Alliance, and I can navigate myself
Wow.
around downtown.
Well,
But
it's walk down one side of the street, go across, walk down the other side of the street.
Yeah.
It's pretty-
Yeah.
Anyhow, yes, reaching out to Mount, and we have the contact with Abby Honecker and Miss
Go on.
Gardner, because they're still telling the students that it's do not go downtown. It's
Yeah.
not a recommended place, and we got to meet with those people and
Yes.
get them aboard.
Yes.
We're doing First Fridays.
Yes.
It's a really great, safe, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and see if we can break past that barrier for
Absolutely
the
right.
next time. And
Like
You're
doing
asking
that,
for group members. That's someone that I don't know
Yeah.
those
100%,
people.
you've got to
but-
get one on the board.
Yeah.
So Melissa Gardner is the one that's on the tourism committee. She's like, they have community outreach people down there, and that's her designated role at there to interface with the community.
Mhm.
She's not been very supportive of downtown for whatever the reasons, but if you talk to her, she acts like she is, but then she doesn't follow through. But anyways,
She could be someone above her too that's telling her.
Sure.
and
you
they're
know,
still,
Yeah,
they still
we're
don't
not
have
on
their
there
new,
yet, yeah.
they still don't have their new president yet. So
Okay.
and when they get the new president, that's ultimately where you want to
Where
get the
the culture
president and
and
say,
the-
this
yeah.
is what we have to offer, and then the message will come down through the ranks.
Yeah.
Because on our First Fridays, which I'm really excited to get about January's, because we only have 2 weeks to get something rolled out,
Yeah.
the more we can make these student focused, like I put sports in there. I don't know if you guys saw my list.
no,
No. I don't think
Okay,
you
let me-
shared our list to everybody, right? Like I don't.
no, I got yours.
Yeah.
And unless you sent me an email, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Oh, I did send an
Oh,
email.
okay. Well then
Yes.
maybe.
So
One
I
of the things I
copied
was
out-
going to talk about with that is I was in sales for 11 years. And one of the things that they do in sales is they always focus on the
Sorry.
holidays.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay?
Yes.
You
So
ready?
holidays are easy to relate to.
Yes.
Instead of trying to reinvent a new holiday,
Exactly.
holidays
Exactly.
are easy to relate to. So
Yep.
February, you got Valentine's Day, Cupid Day, come
Black
downtown,
History
you know.
Month too.
Yeah, Black
Yeah,
History.
yeah,
I
so
would
I
like
got
to
that.
see.
I got it, Sherry,
I would like
actually.
to see
Oh, okay.
minority events too.
Well,
or,
Juneteenth.
You know what I mean?
So for June, so this is what I did the same thing that you were. So
Right.
these, I said in the winter you're going to do ice carving.
I
You can
had
do
that too.
indoor things, a
Small
light
minds
show,
think alike.
luminaries.
Did you guys Google
the
what Canton was
Halloween-
doing?
The
Jeep
Jeep
That's
truck.
not
So
figuring
use
that
what
out.
we
That's their
already
next
have in
one.
place.
Yeah.
That's their
And
next
then
They've done it
Friday.
plant,
before.
sell, and May,
Oh,
May
okay.
flowers.
I didn't
People
know that.
really like to come out and buy their plants, and if you get local people that have plants for sale, everybody digs them up from your garden. That's really popular to do a plant sale.
That's easy to get those guys. All you got to do is go out to Hartville Flea Market
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
and get them pass out a thing. Say, hey, come on down for
Our
this is
First
what our
Fridays.
events look like. This is what we're trying to do is
Yeah.
build a plant event. We'd like
Yeah.
you to come down, get the greenhouses around D-Hoffs,
Yep.
get
yep.
them involved. You know,
Yep, because they used to come to the farmer's
Hoovers,
market. So
yeah.
a flip market, because that was most successful one they had. Plan to do the flip and then.
flip contest.
So, but for the January, musicians and book signing, January, and then February if you want to do the Valentine
But you're
Cupid.
having
But
musicians
my
like that
book,
for
the
2
guy
weeks and
signing
3
books
weeks
out
and
there, he sold
Good
books like
question.
crazy. When he asked me, can I come? I'm like, okay, I'll just be nice. Sure, you can set up in the front. I'm thinking, you guess nothing. And oh my goodness, people were walking through carrying his book. Because he was signing them, I think it clicked in people's head that that's like a
The authors here. they
yeah.
have,
Yeah.
So we have several books, the coloring books, David's book, and other people in town that have brought me their books, their little books. So I'm like, let's do a book signing in each one and tell people. And there's One Book One in Alliance. You guys familiar with that?
The what?
Oh, the one book thing they do at the library
Okay.
every year.
So the library heads it, but Mount Union's big on it, and a lot of the powers that be, the people who run the farmers market, they like the one book one. So every month or every season, they bring in an author, and
Oh,
everybody
I've
reads
seen
that
that.
book, and they all meet and talk
Hmm.
about that book, and they're like high-minded books, like ones about positive things and stuff like that. Anyways, if we could then connect with them and say, hey, we're doing a book signing downtown, you guys want to get on board, then all your members who like to read the books and want to sign it, come down, because we're going to be honoring books and authors, and the schools. Reach out to the schools. Each one of these, we should try to make the kid
Is
thing
this-
as much as
Absolutely.
possible.
Anytime you can involve the kids to be down here for
Exactly,
something.
exactly, same thing.
That's why the Christmas ornaments we had talked about for
Yep.
the next event, him and I are gonna go buy a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments at the 80-90% off.
Can the local students read?
They're actually quite bright and quite creative. So if we say kids are bringing their books, make their own books, and then same thing with the musician, the kids can come down and we'll host a musician inside every shop.
It'd be really cool.
That way you don't have to worry about the outside right now. We
Yeah.
should
Have the
see about
kids
doing
that are
vendors again,
Musical.
but the vendors, I
Yeah.
think we should just,
You know,
Well,
kid that plays
actually-
Because of the
guitar,
weather.
I'm
and
looking
the
at that
ice
with
and
the
things like
union
that.
students and.
kids that play a saxophone
come-
have one in there playing a saxophone.
Mhm.
I got a piano, set it up, and the kid that plays piano can play the piano outside
Mhm,
in the walkway or whatever.
Oh, we do have the piano we can roll outside, that's in the,
So the choir, what was her name? Carrie?
Yes.
That Brittany got us in contact with, they were really happy, and they were excited to do stuff in the future. She let me know though that, so this is where I think that music for January could work. The choir director reached out asking if we would do March for something with them because it's
Okay.
their school music month.
okay.
And she said that she could get a lot of student performers from a play they have rolling out that month and from band and other departments that they could have
You can
collaborate with
reach
stuff
out to
downtown.
West Branch and
Excellent.
Marlington too. It'd be really
Um,
cool to have other schools.
But I think regardless though, the idea of music and individual businesses having or reaching out to someone to play music on First Fridays could be in every event thing.
Yes.
You
Sure.
know,
Yeah.
I don't think
Agree.
it would
like
need to
Canton, They
be.
have 2 to 4 street musicians every,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Fridays
Yeah.
in Canton.
Well,
So
that's
I-
what what's your name talked about, having some guy out there with a suitcase on the stole and the guitar just singing away and money being dropped in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that
Yes,
that's
and all the
something.
musicians put out their hats to get tips.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the book signers, they're selling their
I'm
books,
gonna
so
open up
it's a
these
benefit.
Yeah.
for music every first Friday.
Right.
If I can, since I know some people who come and volunteer.
Yeah.
Well, I can't have a lady that wants to volunteer.
Well,
You have a
yeah.
restroom here?
Yes, two
No,
of
we
them.
have no rest.
No, right. All right, it's in the
To
pot.
All the way to the back, all the way to the back on the left.
All right. Just have to go. Had 4 cups of coffee, not quite
Yep.
as much as Josh had.
It's gonna write this check.
Oh, you put with each
Oh.
month too.
I was
Nice.
gonna show you something.
Yes, Josh.
Look what can we
Then
do.
I didn't know if Crystal's doing her historic one again. So at this meeting, we need to decide first off what we're doing for January, and then by the next meeting, we could maybe January, February.
It'd be nice if we could figure out February
Oh.
too, but
Yeah, I feel that. I do. I also
57,
put
but I
in my
think we have to
notes,
pay them out of
since
that
we
too.
just did this
didn't
event, we
take
should
his stuff.
Oh, we
pre-plan
have
next
to.
year's
No, he
event.
didn't. I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
And I'll look-
Yeah,
no.
what-
I don't know
so
if
I
that's
think-
practical, but
I think there's a lot of things that we
Hopefully
can do.
kind of repeat a lot of the
Yeah.
I think we just need good notes or something so we can, you know what I mean? Like it'll be a year. We would have done 12 of these. I mean, certainly we'll know if it was super.
Yeah.
Oh,
super-
yeah.
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 But I mean, things like February, like, can always be Valentine's Day or something related
Yeah.
to that. You know, we have Carnation with August,
Yeah,
December,
I put that.
and March could be even like a St. Patrick's thing. Like, there's like almost always something that it could be the same.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
Yes.
it could be the same
Yes.
theme, but like a different way of executing it.
I'm
Like,
trying to think, is that Rib Fest or whatever, the Carnation Fest that they hold downtown, wasn't that on the first Friday?
We
We
don't
have to
know.
double check,
It
but
could be
the
it's
second
usually the
August.
first week of August that they kick off.
Do we
kick
have
off
all those
Carnation.
dates available?
through the
Yes,
city.
Yeah.
it is. You can look it up.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
do you,
Because they used to come to the tourism committee, the Carnation Festival, and then we coordinated doing events.
so the first Fridays, did you get them for the whole year? Like a whole 12 months.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, I have all the dates.
if we have if someone wants to have an event and it's going to conflict with us, they're going to have to move their event to another time.
You mean someone holding an event downtown?
Yes, the
Okay.
Carnation.
Well-
Like
she's
this.
saying the
Oh, the
Carnation.
Carnation.
The rib cook-off.
Yeah, the rib.
I think I can reach out to the city and ask them about that
Yeah.
specific
You
event.
could
we should
incorporate-
make sure.
You can
I mean,
incorporate
You
them
can
together.
wiggle it up.
I do think it's nice though.
I think we should do the first Friday. We should hold it and say, not only do you come and check out all our shops, but the Rib Fest. is
Yeah,
free.
yeah. I think it would be nice.
But let's just make sure we can do them
Yeah.
both at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
What's
saying,
that?
will they permit it? Because
Like
you're
if-
asking
Yes.
about
The
permission.
Rib
Yes.
Fest?
If somebody else is doing an event downtown.
Because I'm thinking it's the first week of August, so that would coincide with our August date.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if the city still held it whenever they held it, because I think the city
No,
does the Rib Fest,
I think
right?
is it the first week of August or June?
Carnation Festival does it, so it's
Oh,
a city
okay.
appointed
Okay.
August.
You're right, it is the first week of August.
It's the first week of August.
Because we do our June event, and like a week or two later, they have that Rib Fest down here.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, you know if Crystal's doing that historic downtown festival again?
The July
I have
event,
no idea.
I don't. That's
a summer event, yes. I know she's still planning on doing a summer event.
Right.
Do we know
And
the
then, of
date?
course, the Jeep. No.
No,
The Jeep-
okay.
We have a date for the Jeep event.
Okay, so that's
set.
still on.
So
the Jeep
But
events
Carnation,
kind of
that
carved
one's
in.
on.
That's so successful
March
that we
is
don't
gonna
want to
be
mess with that
music.
one.
So
It
now I
does
got
really
3
well.
months now that we
Yeah.
just decided on, okay.
Yeah. I think so. What I recently
Oh, a
learned.
magician and a comedian. So we can have a comedian in each shop or a musician doing tricks in each shop. Those are
Yeah,
other
magic
two.
tricks, comedians, music.
we're moving too fast for me on that.
Oh, these are just ideas.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
cool,
The
cool.
only
I
thing-
thought you were like, I thought
No,
we were.
no,
And
no.
you gotta have it in 2 weeks. Go.
Yeah, I'm like.
No. The only thing that I circled here was Carnation Day is pretty much a lock-in.
Okay.
He says the music in March because they had something, and Crystal's doing something in July.
Okay.
Those are the only thing
Okay.
that
I
I've circled.
thought we,
Yeah.
The rest
we
are
were
just
making
ideas.
these
So,
first Fridays.
Crystal's events.
No, these are just.
Crystal's events. I think she goes for funding individually, and she tries to run it as her own artist event, and I'm not really interested in.
Yeah, I
Like
think
you
that's
heard
it.
it.
I think that
Friday.
if she wants to
Just
apply
keep
for
it
a permit
separate.
and not have it be on a first Friday and
Yes.
want to have it downtown,
All right, I'm
then,
gonna cross that off.
then I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah, because
Um,
that don't.
Let her do it in the middle of the month and not have anything to do with First Fridays. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Agreed.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Because I mean, we would all be kind of working for her, where
And none of us wanna work for her.
we're not working as a group. That's where I really see
Okay.
where something would happen.
And then
right?
she's headstrong, so it'll be.
Well, I think when
The problem is I don't want to have happen because I am a part of both. I help put on these other
Right,
events.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, if there's going to be a division that way, I'm going to be very protective of that because I've invested a ton of money of my own into these events to make them happen.
Yes.
That didn't come from anybody else,
Right.
Yeah.
and so I don't want to just let it fall on its face.
No.
Okay.
No. We're 100 for us. We're 100% of anything anybody's doing on the street. We're not going to
Yeah.
just say
The
we
Jeep
only
event-
support.
I have put a ton into. I've gotten Wally Armors back sporting it year after year. They're getting more and more
Yep.
involved.
No, the Jeep
I-
thing is
and the
really
thing is
successful.
I would rather that event stay attached to us because come or go, it's not Crystal's event. It's our downtown event.
Okay. But
She's
it's
Well,
not
it
the
needs
one
to be
that-
treated like that.
But
then.
it's not going to be on
You
First
know?
Friday.
I
'cause
agree.
It's trick or
Okay.
treat time, right?
What's
so it's
that?
not going to be at the first. Anyway.
No, but it is the
Okay.
first trick or treat event of the season. It
Yeah.
always
So
But
has
it's
been.
not gonna
essentially
be a First
as-
Friday.
As a group, Ed did say this at one point. Like he's pretty much burned out working on those himself.
Right.
Those are a lot of work. Basically, what Ed's saying is he wants the group to help with those, just like we're doing the first Fridays, and I have no problem with that.
Well, now that I have Ethan and he has contacts in the community, then now I have more availability to hands on the ground help as opposed to just advertising, which is what I've been doing.
Right.
So,
I think, I guess the way I imagined it, I didn't imagine us making those decisions for those events at these meetings, maybe, because I know that Crystal kind of will set up a separate, like, she's going around saying, I got this date set, and maybe that's just a conversation that maybe those start to become separate planning meetings as those events get closer.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just becomes like, this is the planning for the Jeep event. Because we already know it's not going to fall on the first Friday, but we would still want to keep with the first Fridays regardless.
Correct.
Um,
But I had them on the list, and now
So-
I'm like, they're
sorry to
not
make
part
you
of the
feel
first
stranded for a second there, and
Friday. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
you know that wasn't the intent.
No, they're here because on our calendar we put that these are things we're promoting, we're supporting.
Yeah, I didn't realize. So this is Crystal goes through the Alliance Area Preservation Society, and at our last board meeting, she had submitted the request to the board for using us as a fiscal agent and funds to do the event. And on it, she
The
had
historic
yes,
festival? Okay.
and I have never seen the way she applies for it before. But on it, she had her as the event coordinator. She has like her budget spelled out and like her marketing thing. And I guess that's different than what I kind of thought the events were, but I guess she has to apply for funding through the AAPS to do.
It's not through AAPS.
Okay.
It has been through Stark.
Yes.
Okay, the money comes from there as a, not Stark, but Arts of Stark,
Arts
whatever.
and Start, but you have to have who's responsible, just like.
Right,
like on this
AAPS is the
Yeah.
responsible, because
Right.
their name's over all of it.
Yeah.
You
Right.
follow me?
Right.
Yeah.
And then she's the event coordinator that coordinates the money comes from there to there, so that it goes through. I'm the stakeholder. How do I put this? We had come to Crystal and said, we want to create these events.
Okay.
And we knew that she could do events. So
Yeah,
Dad and I
yeah.
pulled her upstairs in a
Yeah.
meeting and says, hey, we can't get everybody else on board, but we'll work with you to make this happen.
Right.
So what we've done is we've created this event with her. She is and I told her, I said, you're the person that's the face of this event.
Right.
I don't want to be the guy out there. I want to be the guy that says, hey, I need this, I need that, let me go get it, let me go get it. Well, the problem is I became burnt out on that whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, just like in this last one, advertising for across the Facebook pages,
Mhm.
I paid for those through those other events.
For the
Nobody
Jeep
else
events.
did.
Yeah.
Right? So there is a lot of money that's been promoting and pushing and the banners and all the different things that go on. There's not, like the Jeep event, there's no grant money.
Yeah.
Right.
Zero grant money.
Okay.
The July event's where the grant money comes from.
Okay.
So the Jeep event is more of, has nothing to do with money coming in from this organization, unless she's changing that up. But it never did. What
Yeah.
we've always done is, hey, this is what we need. We ran it with zero budget. And basically, we just go through, we find things that we need. I'll go buy this stuff. The straw, the corn stalks, that's all pocket change at that point. So I put a lot into that side of that event that I don't want to see those fall on her face, because
No.
the July event, I told her, I said, you do what you want with that one.
Okay.
I'm frustrated with that one.
Just
There,
you got to
they
have
would.
someone designated to be able to.
Serve it to make
Serve
sure
it.
that,
Probably just would have to be at people's point of sales,
yeah.
and it'd just be like 2-ounce
So-
tastes, and
Maybe they could be prepackaged.
I don't think so, because
Uh,
usually they just open a bottle and pour a little in the, in
Well,
these
we
little
would have
plastic
to have a
things. Little plastic
person at
bags.
each business, though, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Well, the only
You
thing
mean
that
from the
bothers
winery?
me about this, and I'm not
What?
saying
From
wine
the
is a
winery?
great draw,
From
is that it's not so
wherever.
kid friendly, and
Yeah.
people bringing their kids was the biggest thing.
yeah. So
More than the wine, because the wine brings more
Well,
our
I did-
target audience, but the
Yeah.
kids, it's not as kid
Yeah,
friendly.
like we
Yeah,
was in
true.
Durango, we went to all those shops, all galleries, they had wine.
And then
Wine.
if you could
Yeah.
do a,
Wine and crackers.
well, I don't know.
Either
I
way.
think if you did a kid drink and a
Yeah,
wine drink, but
do
here's
both.
here's the problem with that.
Kids
Loaded
spill.
parents taking kids home, somebody gets into.
Let's not
Well, I
give
think
out
we would have to
enough
control
so
the
they're
ports.
loaded.
You
Yeah,
see what I'm
but
saying?
still-
I know,
Yeah.
but
But
they're hitting
still-
10 different
but still,
places.
they're at 10
They live at 10
spots.
different places. No matter if you give them this
And
much.
Yes,
what if they came and
that's
they
what
already
I'm
had a
saying
few
too.
drinks
Like,
Like,
before they
let's
got
not
there?
get these
Take-
people drunk.
20
Let's give them a
drinks from
taste.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then what?
So it's a good
Let's
one,
give
but
them a
I'm,
taste. Let's not get them drunk.
so
You
it's a
know what I
good
mean?
one, but I'm not sure it hit it up quite yet.
I feel that.
Yeah.
To bring
I feel
that.
that.
And maybe during the summer when it's a little more relaxed and people can.
And that's
I
what
agree.
we
Out
need the
outside.
police.
I agree, right?
And the
I
police
think that's a great idea.
involved.
That is
Yeah.
more of a summer.
How
'Cause I-
about sports? What's our current sport with the school?
Well,
Because
Mount
if you
Union,
reached out,
if
because
they
I
win
said,
Friday, Mount Union
if we
be
did a-
national champions.
You got-
if we did a sports night, and then we could say each shop has adopted a certain team or something, and we're raising money for those teams, so come down and then we could host
That's a good
different
idea.
different.
Well, right now
sports
it's
things.
wrestling, basketball. I think maybe bowling and swimming would be the 4 sports that would be going on right now.
Or get some money for the baseball team. Like we're getting the baseball team looking ahead to.
Well,
this
the thing
what
is
they
when
need.
you do something with the school, the coaches, I promise you, I've done it so many times, have no problem pimping out the kids, as they call it,
Right.
to make money,
Yes.
to raise money. Okay.
So if we.
So
you-
I actually moved from Planet Fitness 8 doors down, and I went to the wrestling coach. I said, hey, I need 2 weekends of stuff moved. I'm willing to give up $500. He says, I'll have the whole team there. So the whole team was there. I supplied pizza and drinks for 4 hours, both Saturdays, and I moved the store from one end of the plaza to the other end of the plaza.
Yeah.
And all these, it was just wrestlers hauling stuff down.
Yeah.
They're getting a workout. He's getting money fundraised for new gear for their outfits.
Right, so if we let them know that we're
Yeah.
doing this, and they can come here as an opportunity to highlight, come meet the team. Like, once again, if you're meeting a musician, meeting the book sign, come meet the latest teams, who's our star player. I don't know, I don't quite have it totally fleshed out,
Yeah.
but then we could, and then if each shop kinda, but you
Oh.
headed it up and say, here's all the contacts for the schools, and reach out to the school and say, hey, we wanna host downtown, do we have enough time to pull that together in 2 weeks?
I think whatever we
Kids
pull
are
together
out
in
of
2
school.
weeks
Kids
is
are
not
out
going
of
to be
school
school
at that time.
related. A reason why I say that is because you got to get the schools. They got to go through the school board, the what do you call that? The mothers that do the
PTA?
PTA. Get all that on board to get this to happen. Now I know that I could get Marlington's wrestling coach and probably Alliance's wrestling coach only because I coached with both of them.
Well, maybe we should just
But
hit on
I don't think
wrestling.
even that I can get 2 weeks. That's
Oh,
tough.
okay. Okay.
I think the
How
January
about the
event.
luminary? Something with luminary.
Yeah.
Like
I think
featuring like different
about like after the
candles or
holiday
candle
shopping
scents or
season
something.
and like whatever it is, thinking about offering a freebie again, like we did with the cookie crawl.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it makes sense, doing even if it's like, light up
We
something.
could do a
But
treasure
what can
hunt.
the businesses offer?
Oh,
Because
maybe.
people just spend a lot of money
Maybe
during the
if we
holidays.
say
It'd be nice to have
the
a freebie.
feedback was it was too dark downtown, so now we're lighting up
Yeah,
downtown.
let's light up the downtown.
So
That's what I was
everybody's
thinking.
gonna put out a light display, but what would be the
How quick can we
the
get an
hook?
okay from the city about plugging into the outlets
We
and
should be
wrapping
able to
the
do that
poles?
really
The
quick.
light poles. I mean, I would say we already have the okay. After I
Yeah.
talked to Mike Dreger about it, but I will.
Mark
ask
Block
them.
had said
Just a
that's-
quick
It's
little,
only- it's
hey,
only
we can
a
get it.
phone call.
Josh and I'll
Yes.
figure out where we're
7
gonna get
amps.
these lights from.
We
Yeah.
can't go above 7 amps.
They're
So I have a
Christmas
Yeah.
lights. You
So
know what
as
I mean?
long as that's
Yeah, I
It's
have a
LED
pile,
stuff,
a pile
right?
of the
It's
lights
easy.
that spread the things. So I already have a pile of
I
those.
also, and I don't know the legalities of this.
Lighting up
I
might be a
wrote
good
down play a winter movie, like play, the Christmas movie in one of the side parks with a projector.
Yep, I have an
You
outdoor
mean
projector.
in warm weather?
No,
he's saying for the winter.
Because so
Let 'em-
here was my thoughts. Like we need to make these people think, gloves, winter coat, winter pants, snow boots. Just come prepared already, right? And then my ideas were more snow themed.
The other thing I forgot,
Yeah.
and I have, that if you did a thing like that in the pocket park, you have that backdrop and we can hang a sheet from building
That's
to
what I'm
building.
saying.
Put a projector on top of a truck facing
we
in.
don't have to
Well-
get help from anybody else to do that.
Right. And then by doing that, it would be easy enough to do that we could even have, I've got a warming table. One of them like outdoor patio
Yeah,
tables.
yeah.
You put that right on the
Yep.
edge of the sidewalk, just putting off, keep the flame low on the propane. The kids can walk over, heat
Yep.
up, things like that.
So I have 2 little propane heaters, and I would be personally willing to invest in getting one more of what you have, so we have a plethora of heating devices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have a couple cold months. There's no way of getting around it, and
The only thing I'd be concerned about is having those down. I mean, they're fire safe, they're UL approved, so as far as
Yeah.
that goes, that's not an issue. What about the kid decides to stick something in the fire?
Well,
just to see it
okay,
burn?
that's gonna lead
Oh,
to.
yes, we do that.
So
You mean a normal
what-
kid?
Yeah.
What is on my list that I from the second I said it knew we needed it was we need like I put Walmart greeters, but not really Walmart greeters. We just need monitors, people to keep other people safe. Like someone that could walk people across the arch.
Yeah.
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
That's a good idea.
Or a police officer sitting with the lights
Volunteer.
on. If there's one car
Volunteer at
sat
the
in that
lights.
intersection,
But we need
Yeah.
we need someone that will make sure that the little kid doesn't stick his hand in the fire. Like we
Right.
need those people.
right, and at my table, I can get my wife to do that. That wouldn't be an issue. I
Yeah.
mean, I can get her to say, hey, I just need you to, or one of my kids. So
Yeah,
I've
that's
got
what
that
I'm saying.
covered.
Well, what I think we need is like our reserve list of people that we can just
Occasionally grab when we
Like a
need.
Yeah,
volunteer
like
list.
Ray,
So
I don't know if
the
she'll
Canton
be-
Visitors
and-
Bureau has a site where you list, I need volunteers. So they have a roster of people who look there to say, oh, what are the volunteers? I'm going to volunteer at the Football Hall of Fame Marathon. I'm going to volunteer at these different activities
Sure.
in Stark County. So we can list that and say we need 5 volunteers for crowd control. It's on the first Fridays in Alliance, come on down. And that will help us. I mean, we should ask around here,
Yeah.
but we can also put it there, and that will also give us visibility for people there that say, oh,
I would like to start here, then work
did you get
outwards.
that on the Canton Visitors Bureau website?
No.
The
Because I
first
want to get the
Fridays?
community.
The
in these.
oh, you mean list the events on there? I did for the December 2nd.
Okay,
So yeah, I just because it takes a description like
Yeah,
what we're
yeah.
gonna offer, and we
Right.
didn't do the January
Yes.
one yet. So
yes, once we,
yeah,
but you are posting there,
yeah,
because
that.
the newspaper looks at that to cover things.
hmm That's probably how they found.
So I
Yeah.
think our next event should for sure have a cookie crawl. And another thing that I put was guess the musician, where there's a certain song playing in each store. You got to guess the musician. At the end of the cookie crawl, there's an ending spot. If you got them all
How are
right,
we going to
you-
get musicians in 2 weeks?
no. You
Oh.
play it on the speaker.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the cookie crawl, there will be a prize, but you got to have all the right musicians filled out, and then
It's a scavenger hunt. I
yeah,
got that on my
Name
yes,
that- name that-
absolutely.
I
Name
Your
that
scavenger
song.
hunts
Name
A
that song.
scavenger-
always worked for me for my store. So
Gallery
But
House
yeah, name that
scavenger
song.
hunt.
That's
Name
what
that
I
song.
wrote down.
Yeah, name that
Okay.
song.
Name that song. That works.
I also put and I don't. This might not be so practical because you can't guess the weather, but sled riding on maybe the I don't know side street or that side hill beside your building or beside where all those trucks park and stuff usually, where the Grinch was.
Down where
Oh,
White's
the-
Parks.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I've never walked in that
Yeah,
parking lot.
well, that one's a little rough because it's where all the bricks are at the back from the building they demoed.
Yeah, and there's the kids go
Going
across the
into it.
sidewalk, and then they're going to be in a shard of bricks.
But I really do. You mentioned the sledding thing, and I think it is really nice to think about like intrinsic things that downtown could sustain, where like kids would just have to bring sleds and still
Yeah.
like sled outside, whether it be like through alleys or
Close
something.
Close
or,
the street between
um,
Max Attic.
But that's
But you want to close. Oh, that street going down.
Would we be allowed
The
Linden.
only
to do
problem is
that?
that street goes like
Linden.
this.
Yeah.
Unless you had snow packed up, or the kids going to smack into
Yeah.
I was gonna
mean,
fall right down the
Okay,
Good
so
gutter.
one of the things that you could do is if you go to Fun Times, they have some tube chutes.
Yeah.
It's portable. I'm sure it's portable. Just like the Football Hall of Fame is doing an outdoor winter thing, and they put tube chutes through the goalpost.
hmm
Then you pay X amount of dollars in
Yeah.
advance to go
A
down.
buddy of
through
mine
those.
helps build all
So
that out there,
those-
Corey.
might be a great marketing opportunity for them if they would be interested in working downtown.
Because I know they don't keep those
The
snow
problem is,
tubes
in
up
2
year
weeks,
round.
we got to focus on what we're going to do for 2
Sure,
weeks, and
sure.
then
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
other things
that
come into
certainly
play.
isn't 2 weeks.
No,
Right.
but like the guy that works for him out of Fun Times, his name's Corey Nichols. He's a good friend of ours, and I know I sold him, the guy that owns it, my side by side out of the back of the building. So I can probably talk to those guys and say, hey, bring down a blow up or bring down something in the summertime that he had that could,
That
quote
would
me.
be a good February one if you can wear your shoes and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
just
pretty
because
sure
of
they're wearing their shoes because it's
cold.
I mean, the first thing that I wrote on this list of the current ideas is the light up downtown. I mean, I think
Light
it
up.
could be pretty cool. I mean, even if we wanted to think about like alleys and Christmas
Well, I've got-
lights and around.
I've got those laser lighter things that you put on the ground, and it's got the lights that bounce over
so
the
it's
wall.
more
Yeah.
like a light show.
Like a
Come
light
see
show.
the light
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
why don't
is
we
an
see what we
outdoor
can do
thing.
about
We
getting
can
some
just-
light show stuff?
Call. I mean.
And
just
then
say,
you'd have something in each shop that they would come in. Once again, where you were thinking cookies.
Yeah, there has to be a reason
Is
to
there
put
something-
people.
well,
in
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
building.
saying. So, what do we want the
No.
freebie to be for this? Do we? I mean, I think like, do we need to switch it from cookies to
It needs to
something
be
else?
something
So
else.
my first
Yeah,
question
I think
is,
so too.
we're
'Cause you know
doing a
what?
light
Most
up
of the
something
people-
on Main Street, right?
Light up downtown.
Who is that attracting?
Kids.
Family with their kids.
Okay, so what is in your guys' heads that we will light up? Like, how are you gonna do it? Like, I think if we just put motion lights on the wall, it's not gonna be that
No,
exciting.
but I've got that
Each-
laser thing that you
each-
put on the wall, and it's got the stars all around it, where the kids
Yeah, I've
can
got
go over
those
there and
too.
get a picture. We're next to it with the lid up.
If
She's got
everybody
it.
does the front of their shops, it's like we're gonna say downtown has been in the dark and it's coming out into the light. Come see how downtown's transformed. We're gonna have lights. Every single person light up their front of their display, like in front of our building.
We're lighting up
I get-
downtown
I get-
2023.
What is the kid thing?
Yeah.
Flashlights? Can we get little flashlights to give to the kids? Oh, I know. Those luminary bracelets. If everybody gave them, they're really cheap. You got
Yeah,
like
yeah,
50
yeah. You can
bucks.
get 100 packs and stuff.
Yeah. So if
The little
every
neon ones.
yes,
Yeah.
like when they do
Glow
4th of
sticks.
July, they sell glow sticks and things like that. So the kids could come get a free, and just say
Or any
there's
of those
a
like
free.
carnival things, the ones that spin or whatever businesses
Yeah,
wanna.
because there's a bunch of cheap little light up things.
See where I can find those real quick. I think I can get that on Amazon.
And then I have some downstairs because Mark's was selling like you got 100 for $3, and
Yeah.
I bought a couple of them not knowing what to do with them.
Also, I had a lady mention to me, and I don't remember anything about it. She said first 100 people get a free Christmas ornament. Did that happen?
First 100 people get a free card. The Rodman Library did the kids craft. First 100 kids get a kids craft.
Okay.
That happened.
Because the lady says, I was the first one down here and I want to know where the ornaments are. And I said, ma'am, I apologize. I don't know anything about that. Let me
Yeah.
find out.
I didn't
And I
either,
went
but
and asked
sometimes
somebody.
people misread things.
Yeah,
too.
they
yeah,
misunderstand.
maybe
it.
I know that verbiage for the first 100 was the Rodman Library, little kids bags.
So, okay, here's another. Well, yeah, we haven't figured out our ideas, so I don't want
Oh, go ahead, throw it out there.
Well, here, 300. If you give these bracelets away, that'll get the kids down there as one of the things. But you can get 300 bracelets for $20.
I'm just not feeling that idea. I don't know why, but I don't want to say.
Well, it's
you
kind
know,
of light up downtown. If we're
Well-
lighting up downtown, now you're
Will we
Can't
light
say-
it up? Is my question. That's
Well-
where I'm like, what about all the businesses who are not going to participate?
Okay.
What about the
So
businesses?
the problem is, you're absolutely right. We can all agree, oh, we'll light up stuff, but will all these other ones
Yes.
agree to do it?
Yes.
Well, if I can order enough of these, there's 400 for $26. There's probably where I can buy 1,000 of them or whatever. I'll buy and donate them to the businesses.
So that's like six.
I think probably the bigger. I could see businesses being okay with getting those.
If I gave
just
them
think
the
about,
bracelets and said, hey, give
Yeah.
these away along with something for the kids to eat and drink or whatever.
No, I think
Well-
I do agree with the sentiment of like, will businesses actually go out and like put lights on their storefronts and.
Well, I think
Because we're
Max
2
will.
weeks away.
I think
and
Celebration
I'm thinking,
will.
What the hell am I going to put on my building? I
If we
got
talk to
no
Celebration, I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If we
Not
talk
to be
Ann, she'll figure it out.
negative.
Yeah.
No.
I'll
I know
do
what
it.
I'm
No,
thinking.
agree.
What,
Because
You know
what
what I
am
mean?
I going to
Yeah.
put
The
on
problem
my
is
Well, I
building?
got-
If I'm
Hodgepodge
I
thinking,
got a
Railroad
couple
Store, are they
buildings
gonna do
that
it?
I would
Probably
be going
not.
saying, okay,
right,
what would
you
I
have
do?
a
You know what
lot
I
of
mean?
work
Yeah.
to do if we're doing it
Well,
in 2
not
weeks.
necessarily. If you use, and they're not that expensive, especially if you're after Christmas sales, you get those things. You just have to plug it in, and it just makes a bunch of
Makes
lights.
the lights.
It's one thing. And
I
if
have
we're
'em.
if we're using the street thing, you've got a street one in front of it. You just plug it in, wire it, tape it to the top.
Well, like I said,
Throws
we
the lights
could
out.
get something like say plug it on the second or third floor and shine
So-
it down to the streets.
We could
Okay.
even provide you one, because like I said, I got about 3 or 4 downstairs. Just
So-
go out and strap it on there and put one of those on each pole.
We need more than what we're doing if we're doing this.
Okay, hold on. I'm
Um,
shopping right now.
Like, what about we see if we can't get the Grinch to come back and do
Oh,
something
yeah.
to
Yeah.
pair with this?
Yes,
or
yes.
we need something more. I'm not
You need a
getting
better
the,
hook.
the wow
Right.
factor is not
Well,
happening
how about
right now.
how about the magician? Not the magician, the musician. You still, because we said we're going to do street music,
Oh.
and I know
Cold
that we can
outside
pull
for
out.
that. For
Well,
Well, I
most
think
of
they'd
them-
have to be inside.
But they can
Yeah.
go in and out. They could stand out there, play a song, then come inside.
Yeah, if they're playing guitar, their fingers are getting sore and tired from the
yeah,
cold.
like
and-
you can't be
But-
outside.
but
But if
it
you were in
was great. We
costume,
made
yes,
that-
you could do it.
We made that little spot in a very crowded front. I made that little spot for him. He sat down and he did his, so I can have a musician in there, the book signing guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just
yeah.
carved out. If you look at the front of my shop, it looks like there's no space for
Okay.
anyone, but we did it and it worked.
Yeah.
Like this. Wait till it lights up here 1 second. It's on Amazon, so it's hard to see it. Let me go down, come back up. All right. See how those lights are dancing?
Yeah.
Let me go down, back up.
That's one piece of equipment, plug in, that's it.
Yeah, I get that. I used to have those in front of my store to trip
Okay.
people out.
Right. Well, I have that same thing, but if you just took it and hooked it on the front of your building and pointed down on the sidewalk, lighting all the sidewalks all the way down with some kind of dancing lights on the ground, the poles are lit up, you're lighting up the downtown, you're creating a wow factor event. And what we could do is get it done in a day or two. You and I, if you wanted
Okay.
to, could do a quick video of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get
Yeah, I
it.
think it'd also be nice.
And we do it at
I
night when
do
it's all
think
dark.
If somebody
tear it up
just
with
This time of
musicians.
year is good
It needs
because it
something
gets dark
more.
early.
I don't
In
think the
summer,
kids are
it
going to
doesn't
be
get dark till
wowed by
9, so
blowing the
it work,
dark
yeah.
bracelet. Personally,
The what?
the kids aren't going to be super wowed, or like I feel like the
Go to the
dark
fireworks festival. I'm telling you, they sell them bracelets like crazy. I buy 20 of them every time and hand them out to every kid in the area.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole park, when the lights go
Kids
out,
do.
guess
They
what?
eat it up.
As soon as the lights are out, the whole park is lit with neon bracelets
But
everywhere.
we're talking about not just the kids, the parents too. So literally for the kids to get down here, the kids have to pretty much ask the parents, right?
Okay, how quick can we get a flyer made up about this?
We can do a flyer.
And how quick can we do that? Because I will personally go around to all the elementary schools and hand them out.
Well, we can do another. I can do another blast out to the Alliance City schools like we did
That's
with
the
December
best.
2nd event.
So
I mean, can this be paired with like the sip and shop?
The what?
Can this be paired with like the sip and shop?
Well, you got 2 weeks
it
for
needs
them to try to
paired
pull
with
that
something.
together.
I would agree.
Well,
with
I
that.
think if the sip and shop can be easily coordinated, we can reach out to that winery. But I think like coordinating with them at each business might be a little much to where, I mean, even if a business were to, honestly, I think it could just take one bottle of wine. And when you're doing like 2-ounce pours for like taste testing,
Well, I gave away hot chocolate for the event.
yeah. Well, the wine's just for you know,
I know,
it'd be different.
but
yeah.
I gave away 6 gallons of
Yeah.
hot chocolate.
Really?
But
I gave away 4 or 5 dozens of cookies.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a table like this, full of
Yeah.
cookies. The hot chocolate thing was down there, and we had to fill that thing 6 times the gallons
Yeah.
of water.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
also, it's not about like the hot chocolate and cookies. It's free, so get as much as you want. I mean, this is a limited taste testing pour, is what he's saying.
Right.
But honestly, through all this, the main thing that keeps going in my head is do something where you don't have to rely on someone else.
Right.
We got
For this
2
event, we
weeks.
got 2
But
weeks. It's
so
gotta be
that's
simple.
So-
that's so I think that's very counterintuitive to what the First Fridays in Main Street's supposed to do.
Oh,
Because it should
I
depend on the
get it.
businesses actually having to do
I
something.
But
agree.
look how close we are.
No, I get yeah.
So
That's where I think
and
make
let's
it
say
easy.
we do get someone else involved and they fail us.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't give them much time to get prepared,
Yeah,
and
but
now
you
they're
got
rushing,
them
and then they.
The
can
thing
fall
is
through.
I don't have a problem wrapping the poles with lights.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem grabbing these lights or something that we can light up on the sidewalks as kids walk down the road, but you still have to have something with that, and I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but whatever it is, it's got to be something where families going. It's going to be fun. Let's go see it. Whatever we do has got to be that momentum. But we don't have time to prepare. Like right now, we should be preparing for March. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Is we're behind the ball right now. We got to
Yeah.
figure out how to get ahead of the ball. So a couple of the events, which are the worst part of the month, the coldest, January, February.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way. But
I'm
okay,
just saying,
sorry.
the part of the year, the worst
Yeah.
part of the year is going to be January, February. Any kid that's got a
I'm
cold.
excited for these
Sometimes-
events though. If we had more time, because I'm thinking, literally, when I was like, okay, I gotta come up with ideas. First thing I did was Google First Fridays all across the country and see what they were doing. Dude, this is an exciting time of the year to have a First Friday. It's winter. It's beautiful. We're gonna have snow hopefully here in a few weeks.
Get people out of their houses. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's
I wanna know.
you just embrace it. You know
Say
what
that
I
again,
mean?
I'm moving forward.
And that's why I was like ice carving, sled riding. Another one that I wrote down that I haven't said is chili cook-off or a
Chili cook-offs.
there
Wonderful
was
for this
another
time of
one.
year.
Where is it?
It could be chili/stew or just chili. Or whatever.
Just something more embracing the weather, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I don't feel that way about this. I've lived in Ohio my whole life. Most of us have, and I know if I go get warm and bundled up, Josh is gonna have an awesome time.
The only
Right.
weather I want to embrace is Hawaiian weather. I'm not from here. I don't like cold.
I don't. To me, look, I still got shorts on. You know, I don't
Yeah.
care.
We can check out,
like,
don't you worry.
There is no connection.
So I'm okay
Just
with the
kidding.
I'm okay with the lighting, but I want to. I'm gonna have to go order my lights tonight. You know, like, and I would really like things that are very easy for me.
Easy to put up, not hard to
and-
do.
Yeah,
And
and
each year, as you go, the second is going to be easier.
Yeah.
so
you're
we
gonna
need
have stuff.
to think of the
Push you
street
this
as a whole and
Yeah.
where is not going to be lit up that we can.
Well, that's the funny problem is from
I
Trail
promise
Hole
you
to
that
you is a big gap. From
if I
Trail
go
Hole
down-
is a big
Feel
gap.
it. How do we handle that?
If
Well,
I go
we're
down
gonna
the
get
tattoo
chamber.
shop, he'll
I
let.
can get Rick Baxter at the chamber to put a light out there.
Yeah.
The one thing I was thinking is
I don't
maybe
know,
the
town
That's the other thing,
tavern,
I
light it
thought
up.
one
about-
of my windows upstairs in that hallway. I can point one out there,
Yes,
so
that
it's
would-
in that parking lot.
Oh, that's good. That's
Matter of
good.
fact,
Yep.
do the one, oh, that's facing this direction.
Yes,
Yes,
where your
that's what I
where
was
your
thinking,
sign
yes.
is, because that's a big stretch where there's nothing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
I don't know if we might get pushback if we like put stuff in the streets like where traffic is.
No, I'm
No,
talking
no.
about parking
Can't do
lot.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where
No,
the
you will get pushback because I
Yeah.
wanted to put a neon lit sign on the front of my building, and that's a no-go.
Okay.
Because it's anything that has chasing lights are a no-go downtown because they're afraid of people looking and not paying attention.
Even though you can have
Oh,
them
it's
in
Las
10,000
Vegas
other
here.
cities across the country. that's no problem.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all. No,
Okay.
don't go to Vegas.
So will the city say we can't put lights
Marquee lights, the flashing lights,
No,
the
but-
strobing.
I'm just
for a
saying.
light show?
Oh, we could. I was just saying that we,
In the
we
street
wouldn't want to
itself.
direct it in the street or like where traffic is.
Right.
Was all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
No, we
are
want
you
it on
wanting
the
to just
building.
put like your cheap Christmas lights up on the poles, right?
Right,
Okay, cool. That won't cost much.
no.
How do we get them to stay
What about
to
the alleys?
I will take a piece of mechanic wire. All you gotta do is wrap it all the way down the bottom. You take a piece of mechanic wire over the end. You make a little loop. You bring it around and reconnect it, and it'll hold it right in place.
Okay.
And also you can use strip ties.
So-
And you just tie the lights
Or
up.
zip
and
ties
then-
See that,
on it,
if
yeah.
you do
Zip
something
ties,
that
yeah.
pose between here and where you're at, that probably help.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of just doing it in front of this building with
I
that
mean,
building.
I think
No, we need to light all the
I
poles.
think we
whole-
should totally get a few volunteers involved. Someone's gonna prep them. Someone's gonna put them up. You know what I mean?
All right,
Yeah.
so we'll get
So
a
it,
team,
so we can get
a committee of people
20
to
poles
set-
on each
set the
side or
lights
whatever
up.
it is, because Christmas
So you're
lights
not
aren't
doing-
expensive.
Don't get the
enough.
cat out if one bulb goes out, they all go out.
Maybe we could do like we're in charge of the 300 block, we're in charge of the 400 block. We help you
Yeah.
with the 100 block. So
Yeah.
we broke it down.
That's a pretty good idea
Help
too.
with the cost of it and so on
Yeah,
and so forth,
yeah.
and who's doing what
So
and where.
because you got barrels on each block, but if we say we'll be in charge making sure this is lit up, and we'll coordinate with the people in this block.
Right.
So this is embracing the darkness too. You know what I mean?
That's
Because
what.
it's
That's
dark
exactly.
early this time
That'll
of the
take
year,
care
so
of
I
the
could
issues
see
for that.
I could see that.
Now, do we do? I have a projector. I have a sound system, so I could easily take my flatbed truck, put a rack on top of it with a generator in the back of it, mount the projector on top with the umbrella over to keep anything getting it, and then put a set of speakers in the bed of the truck facing the pocket park. You follow me?
Yeah.
And then we could somehow project.
The one right next
A movie.
To, the one next to Hot Pouch.
Right, right. Because it's dark
Okay.
there already, so why not use that as a benefit?
So you can project it on the side of the wall.
I could put it on the wall. I could put a
Mhm.
screen up. I have a portable screen,
How big's your screen?
120.
And that, what keeps it from
So it's 10
falling?
foot. 10 foot long.
Well,
That's the thing.
I'd have to create a thing. that keeps
Because
it
when
from
we got
flopping.
Jupiter, Richie had this big screen that's as big as this wall.
That's in the warehouse.
It's in
right?
the warehouse.
That
It's
could be
just,
used.
but it's
It's-
screen on wood that's in a
It's
one
like
by
it's like
fours.
it's like 2x3s.
But you'd have to secure
So you-
wind is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The wind.
But
And of
so
course you
that could be
couldn't do it if
lifted
it
up
was
and
raining.
carried by
but
two people and put wherever you want to.
But
and
you have to
take
find a way
If
to
you
brace
leaned it
the
against the
stability.
wall, if you put it against the wall, then that would.
Right.
Anyways, we have that screen.
The other thing is if you take and put a sheet, this is what the Armors did at one of his places.
Yes.
He had a framed in a piece of plexiglass, and you put a sheet on it,
Yeah.
and you project from the backside, and it makes a TV screen
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
that's running
My
backwards.
daughter
Yeah.
did that in a
But-
barn. She hung up the sheet and then she projected on it, and I was like, wow, that worked.
It works really good
Yeah.
because you're projecting from the backside.
So lights is the main thing.
Lights.
We need some sort of reason to get people in our businesses. So
That's
whether
because your giveaway.
the
So you can
bracelets
give-
and cookies or whatever you want to do there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and you
think-
could just say, there's a special gift or a treat.
Help
in each.
come be a part of lighting up downtown in the
Well, one thing
That's a
I
good-
thought the other day, when everybody was looking in my window but not coming in, and then I opened the door, is
easels.
Yes.
yeah, every
Yeah.
sign. If you see this sign, that building is open.
Okay,
No,
I
look,
have-
because people think looking in
They did
is
that for Fridays
interesting,
in
but they
Canton.
don't
They
know
were
to go
yellow.
I
in or not
have-
to go in.
I have a whole bunch, not a whole bunch. I probably got 6 of them. You know the metal frames that the realtors, steel frames that stick in the ground,
Yeah,
where the trees are.
yeah.
You could have a vent inside. All we do is get the poster board made up, slide it
Inside.
right down inside of
And they
there
all
for
be
the
the same
event.
color.
Special,
something, maybe
the special
neon.
event or
Yeah.
downtown events.
Right,
Um,
downtown events.
What I
whatever.
would do, Dalton,
Yeah.
is on our map have like the, you know how we had the coffee and the sign that we all put on our building, sweets here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there should be a logo or whatever on the buildings that's also on the map that lets them identify that this building is participating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those should be on the things there, because people, when they look down the street, they need something there.
They need
Maybe
a
little
visual.
flags.
Yeah.
We have a ground and
W-
something.
we
It's
certain-
always windy on this.
We certainly need a universal banner for all First Fridays, at least for
Mhm.
the first year. That was on my list. Like the one we
Go
had.
across.
Well, it doesn't have to go across. That would be amazing if it did, though.
Yeah.
But like the one that we have now, we can't use again.
Right till next year.
Yeah. So we need a
We got a
universal
whole. I got a whole
banner.
room full of them.
We also need universal sandwich boards. So where the trees are with the dirt, we should get, just for the day of First Friday,
Mhm.
the First Friday hours and the day of, I don't know how we could do that, but we need signs on our
Yes.
street the day of the event saying, hey, this is going on here, stop here, hang out.
Yeah.
This building is open.
Right.
Yeah.
I also have those orange barrels.
Mhm.
Those orange barrels. Where are they at?
They're all behind the truck.
Okay, so I've got these round orange barrels that we could even use. Those are basically for the downtown. I've used them for blocking different things when we needed it. But even those could have something mounted maybe at the corners of Arch. Event this way, the event this way, something on top
Yeah.
of it that says what's going on at different places.
Yeah.
As people are coming, they can go, oh, this is where we want to go to that one, or
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Now, and those bracelets, not think the kids like it, but if the kids went and got one at each shop, they would yeah.
Yeah, one on each shop, I like that, but then that would probably would that get expensive? Well, you said 100 pack was how much?
I can get 400
cents.
for $26.
Okay, cool.
So we could
If
probably
they're
get-
getting one per store, then I think it's a little more exciting.
Yes,
If they're
yes.
just getting one all together, then
No.
I'm not thinking it's
No.
too
And
I
exciting.
think it
But
could be
each
anything.
shop could then offer other
light up
things, like we
related.
have hot chocolate here,
Yeah.
Oh.
we have treats here, so just like
But-
let
Yes.
the shops decide
Yes.
what they want to
These
give.
Glow stick bulk 600 count.
See how she's got 600
Glow
on?
bracelets,
Yeah.
do yourself, 600 connected. There's $30 for 600.
And then try to get,
Yeah.
maybe each shop have a different color.
Yeah, I don't know
So
what the
that's
color
green, maybe
options
get
are.
red
either.
or purple or whatever.
So, this is kind of off topic. Can you put this in your notes?
Yeah.
We need a Alliance First Friday page, Facebook page. That's one thing I noticed everywhere that has a First Friday. When I was researching online, they have a Facebook page too.
We don't want to use the Main Street page.
I think we can use that, but I think we should also have a First Friday page, like a specific
Facebook
First Friday page. Not an event page, not like an event post, but like a page.
Now,
You know.
the one thing you have to keep in mind is when it comes that page, now you got to monitor it. Who's going to be monitoring all that?
Moderating and
I mean,
Yeah.
this is what we need. I'm not saying
Yeah.
we have to do it now. I'm just saying this
Yeah,
is what
eventually.
everyone
Yes.
has done. I
Right.
literally went on, the internet and looked at everything. I was in Colorado, I was in California, looking at these different First Fridays, and they all have a Facebook page.
Well, I agree. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's how do we incorporate that? Because I can change the name of that beautiful storage page, but if you do that, now you have to take all the advertisers off of it.
Yeah, no, we should probably keep that. That's why I think we should have both.
I'm with you. Just trying to figure out. You
we
start.
need
when
someone.
you're-
We need someone
Oh,
on
yeah, we
the
were gonna
committee
ask
that'll
you.
Yeah,
oversee
a
the
social media
Yeah.
person.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, that could be a good thing for a volunteer. 'Cause maybe someone
Absolutely.
wants to
But here's
support,
the
like
problem.
Sarah
Here's-
McGuire, who's a volunteer.
Well, Sarah
Yeah.
McGuire would be great for it, but here's the problem with putting a volunteer on it. What if the volunteer gets a burr? just hear me out. I've had it happen
Oh,
on
okay.
our page. Somebody gets a burr, and I'm not gonna say who did it, but they did it, and then they posted something on there, and I had to kick them off. Because you can't give them full power of the page,
Right.
because the second they don't like what you do, they're blasting you, and you can't control it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The group, like he should probably have the.
Somebody's gonna have to be the total moderator of everything.
Kind of
Right,
monitoring.
because
the
like the
group.
beautiful storage page, I monitor that, and there's times where things have been posted, and I just delete them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. There's no drama here.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
over with. You know what I mean?
Right,
I keep the
right.
drama out. And so when you give that to somebody, like on that beautiful storage page, Dalton's on there. Were you on there? I
don't
thought
know,
I've tried to
remember.
add everybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will accept it or don't accept it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they can't
I think
find
I'm
it.
on there, yeah.
Anne can't accept it. She's tried over and over again. I've sat there with her, tried to show it to her. But regardless, it's at a point that all that's there. Anytime there's negativity, I'm the head editor
Monitor,
that
right.
kicks it out.
There's one person in charge.
Right. So if you do that, keep in mind you don't have somebody else making that page up,
Yeah.
and then you don't have controlling power. Then you can't
Yeah.
shut it down.
I mean, that's the issue for me is like the delegation of the work. You know, we all know that like overseeing and delegating volunteers is a job in itself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
how much time do I have for everything else?
Right,
If
right,
now
right.
I'm like, you know, and especially volunteer. If someone is a part of the committee, yes. I just think as soon as are we
Volunteers
organized and
transit-
established
transit.
enough to have a pool of volunteers like that's doing stuff, and that kind of concerns me a little
It
bit.
does me
but-
too, a little bit.
So we need to make.
Well,
a
we just gotta
for-
make good decisions on the people we bring in.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
if you're the
Well,
main editor, you don't have to monitor it to the page. But as soon as somebody says, "Hey, did you see what she posted?" No. Oh yeah, it's got to go. Delete. Gone.
So one thing that I did write down is we need, and I said this to you, Ed. We need someone for quality control. Like what I said, you know, I told you this. I didn't really care much for the flashy animation video that was black and white for First Fridays.
Yeah.
I didn't care much
No.
for that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it
Who
was,
did that?
Crystal.
and I'm
but
not
it-
hating,
Yeah.
but
it just wasn't. It wasn't.
I think she just did something.
we need some
like, on her
quality
own.
control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's representing all of us.
And I didn't
too.
want to delete it in fear of backlash,
No,
but I
you
did
don't wanna
promote it.
delete that.
I
Yeah.
did not promote it.
Yeah, but you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So we do need some quality, someone who's going to be quality control. That's
Yeah,
one of
Well,
the
that's
positions.
back
that
to
we-
his.
come up with
That's
something.
back to the moderator, the person that owns the page. But then, like I own all my Facebook pages, but then I put my employees on, and
Sure.
then when they're not there anymore, I take them off. So
Well, I think
Yeah,
we
okay.
should set the goal for like, I wanted to talk about names of people we should include, and then from that point, when we can actually start assigning roles to people, it would make the
Yeah.
most sense.
Yeah.
So I think I agree. Like I have no problem with doing a Facebook page for these events. It's just I wanna have the discussion about like who becomes a part of the committee and what do we assign who to
Yeah.
do what. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Sure. Certainly.
But yeah. So do we? As of right now, the event is going to what we could call it light up downtown.
That
Is
works
that
for
it?
me.
that
Okay.
works for me.
And I also think that
Or
it
get
would-
lit. How about that?
that could be like your spin on it, right?
Yeah,
Like that
right?
makes sense, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I think that allowing businesses to like, you know, it could be like something neon related in the store,
Yeah.
like glow in the dark troll hair or something, you know?
Sure.
Like it whatever people want to spin off.
So what I was thinking is where our lights are lit up, there should be a number or an item or something that you identify, and then you go into the store and you tell the store owner, hey, I found blah blah blah, like your troll hunt, like you would hunt for a troll. I found the item, it was hidden here, or the number or the
The
symbol.
scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
Call
so
it
they're
that.
the scavenger hunt, something to do with the lights that brings people in the store.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they have to get the paper signed off, and then when they do all the stores will have some kind of something to give
The
them.
raffle.
Like I have a hostess sign. You're making me think about this. Like, find the lit up hostess. So they're looking for a person.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me?
Yeah.
And I got a
Yeah,
hostess
hostess
cupcake sign that's lit up
Yeah.
on the wall.
The
So
house is tricky.
Give away some hostess stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe each business has that is part of it has like, what is the image in our lights? Like, is it Santa Claus? A. Is it the Grinch be. You know what I mean? Where they answer a question, and then once they get all done, we will need someone to go through the sheets and make sure they're all legit. You know what I mean? They all would be in a bucket, get mixed together or something like that, and then you would just pull one, and that person would win the prize for the overall event.
So I had a scavenger hunt on here, but do you think we actually implement like an actual scavenger hunt for a future event, or do it with the light up downtown one?
Oh, right now. Yeah, this
Do
one
we have
right
enough
now.
time?
The reality is, do you want people in your stores?
No, I know. Do we have
Well-
enough time to pull it off? Because
Well-
you can create this event, and it takes planning for some things, like, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm thinking like the scavenger hunt, as far as, do we just need a map and then the businesses decide what they offer and that's
yeah.
it?
So
Yes.
what I would do is have the map, and then each business where their lights are lit up, you either have a sticker or a symbol or something that they have to find. Then they bring the sheet into you, sign the sheet, off to the next business. You know, set yourself up in the back of your stores too. Don't set up in the front,
Yeah.
so they gotta walk all the way through it.
So why would they be doing sheet signs? Like signing the sheets?
Well, the whole idea is, why
Yes.
are they gonna come in the business?
Like when you do the troll hole, we had a troll up
Yes.
on the scaffolding up in the
So like
air.
the freebie wouldn't be enough, like the glow sticks? Because that would essentially like be the
Well,
lighting
I think
up,
I think
lighting
you
up.
get the glow stick, like with with the scavenger hunt. You find something,
Yeah.
and then you get a prize.
So the glow sticks.
So
are
you
prize.
find it, you get the glow stick.
Yeah. Yep. And then at the end of it, you turn in your sheet, and then we'll just mix them all up, choose
You
one.
got to choose different glow sticks for
Yeah.
each one to
So
verify.
this is
Well, that's why I said maybe.
This is
different-
a template
they
that I
have to
set
have
up
the
for all my-
signature. It's more
Yeah.
about the signature on the map.
So when people came in for that last one, they're like, "Where's the map?
Ex-
This is a cookie crawl." And
Yeah.
so we did it
Exactly.
for like 6 years doing the Trollmania, and I did it twice a year doing these scavenger hunts. The people did start getting trained to grab that map, go to each shop, sign off. I want you to sign off. You
Yeah.
prove that I was here.
that too.
Yeah.
I experienced
So-
that too.
Well, can instead
Now,
I just think if
so to streamline it, because
Yeah.
I've done this a number of times already, we have the map. We alter it really easy. Like
Yeah.
that Mount Eunice student, all she did is like edits in like 5 minutes. Like who's participating, who's not participating.
Right.
And on the map, it's that same map. And we have the thing, and all you do is edit it. These are the people, these are the spots. And then Faye, being very supportive of Downtown, she will print these full page maps out and give one to everybody. They go it around, they got the thing on their map, they get the shop, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You give them their whatever treat you want. You give them the glow stick, you give them a cookie, you give them whatever. And then they bring it back. And what I do is just have them put their email, because then we collect everybody's email
Yeah.
so that we can notify them, put their email, drop it in, and then we just have a gift basket. And everybody can donate to that gift basket. You can have multiple gift baskets or one basket. So, and then people
Oh
are here
no,
to
we
do
should
that.
lock the door. They found us.
Anyway, so I can pull that part together so it's not on your list, because now that I got Ethan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can get the maps.
I'll
I
go
will go
grab
get
the
her to
maps.
print them, and I will distribute them to all the shops.
So does this involve, we need to have a symbol or a sticker that is passed out to each business that they put
No,
up somewhere in
they
their
do their
shop?
own little one.
Oh,
Oh, you mean
okay.
like to find something in each
Yeah.
shop? Yeah.
Well, and do we give people that ahead of time, or do they walk into business and then the business has a sign, find this?
Well, one thing I was thought
Well,
about.
it's good to have themes, so maybe we would have a
Something
certain
that would-
candle.
Yeah.
Like
If you do
said, a
this,
hostess
I
or
would think
something.
something that lights up would be something you look
Yeah,
for, something that's
yeah.
lit up.
Yeah.
So if
Whatever.
we got,
Like I
12.
I have a little King Tut. It's about this big. Find the glowing Tut. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so each shop could
Is
have
that
something
okay?
different that was
Does
lit
that
up.
really? Because you were saying it seemed like too much. Do you think that it can be simple?
I'm concerned that not so much that you, I, her could pull this off enough time. It's whether or not the people, there's enough advertisement, because we haven't advertised anything for this event.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be able to get the people to come down for that event without.
Yes, because there's one, creating the events, which is to me always the easiest and funnest part. And the
Right.
second part is getting the promotions out there. If everybody's putting it on their Facebook page, are they? Is it just on Ed promoting it? And I need to know what your formula is again. You said post one page, but then share it from.
What happens, you post it and then everybody shares it.
Right.
You ask them to share, and
But
then
it
once
posts
you,
on which page is the best page to post it from, to share from?
the best page for me would be to post it on Pocket Change, but I don't.
Okay.
I post on Beautiful Stork Alliance,
Okay.
and then I share it to Pocket Change. Josh shares it to his page, so on
Okay.
and so forth.
So
And
post
then
it
when
on
I
the Beautiful,
advertise, I
then
just
share it to those other pages.
right. The reason why I do on Beautiful is I'm trying to build that page up.
Right. Okay.
But I'm using the rider off of the Pocket Change
Right.
people poll that is, because Pocket Change has got 6,300 and some people on it. So if I do the boost the Beautiful Stork Alliance and the Pocket Change leg, this leg, that leg, that leg, then as soon as I pump the money here, it runs out through all those legs.
Okay. And you boost the one from the bottom one.
The bottom one, the first one
Okay,
you do.
So boost that one. Okay, because I knew you had a formula, and I was like, oh, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Because
It's a lot of people like to do is they like to boost
If I share from my
where-
personal page, I feel like I get more leverage in the buy-sell trades and stuff than if I'm trying to do the troll hole. Because
Right.
then it looks like it's a business, whereas opposed to me. Anyhow.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whichever
I'm always
page you
trying
boost
to-
from, whatever page you post from, share from. And, after you share it, then pump that ad once the sharing happens,
Okay.
and it'll just runs out.
Okay. 'cause
We
I
had
haven't-
15,000 hits off of that this last round.
So do we have time to market is now the question. We can pull this together. I can pull the maps. I've done it enough. Creating the map component is not a hard
And
thing.
your maps are nice, so
Yeah.
I do appreciate that.
I mean, I can do the signups for the Visit Canton website, the Akron Beacon Journal, the Alliance City School District text blast. But those are all free things. And if we want to do the Facebook, and I mean, we have $78
Yep.
if we want to spend some of that money to boost a Facebook post. And I think that all to me sounds sustainable. We can do that with every event.
But you know what? If each of the shops gave $10, we took all those $10 and put it in, say, if everybody gave $10 for promoting the First Friday event, that seems to me really doable, and then we could.
Right, because last one we did,
through-
we paid 160 for that event.
Mhm.
160 bucks ain't a lot for all the
Yeah.
advertising you got off of
Yeah.
that. I mean, really. People
Yeah.
came from Niles. I
Many
mean,
do $20.
Yeah, yeah.
That way you can get 10 shops, maybe get $200.
So,
Right.
Well, we can encourage everybody to boost their own
Yeah.
for $10 a month, and then contribute.
Well, if they
to the
boost their
overall
own, it
page.
doesn't go as well.
And I can't boost mine because
Yeah.
we're a smoke shop. They already turned ours off.
Right. But what I'm saying is, say you boost, this person boosts that. The best thing you do is use the Lions historical page. That's everybody's page. Share from that one.
Okay.
Boost from one.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yeah.
Yep. So then go around and say, hey, people,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
Share
Are
it.
you participating? Because what I did with Cookie Crawl was I made people sign the paper that said, just like their vendor app, which this is off First Fridays that I
Yeah.
adapted to here, makes people responsible when they sign and pay.
Yeah.
Then they show
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I had the page where I went around to all the shops and said, are you on board with this? Are you on board with this? Are you on board with this? And it didn't take very long. You just run shop to shop, and everybody says, yeah, I'm on. And I'm like, okay, then you're on the map. That's all I need. You agree to be on the map, agree to be on the map, agree to be, and then put the map out.
I hope they do.
Food
Yes.
vendors, regular vendors, are we gonna do that for this one?
I was thinking about
They did great.
maybe
I think food vendors is important because there's
Yeah.
no food
Agreed.
down here.
I was
Everybody
thinking about
gets
maybe
munchies.
inviting a few food vendors.
Well, let's try
I
to
think
get a
that needs
bunch
to get-
together.
Well, I want to try to go with
You know what?
A-Town this time because they
Okay.
weren't doing December events with the holidays, and I really would like to choose them because they're local and people.
Big
But their
deal.
menu is also kind of limited. So if you do that,
Yeah.
let's just do one more too. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
least,
two.
at least two.
Also, the one thing you could also do for one of the events is down in Florida and other places I've been to, they have nothing but food truck Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a great one.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
People
The
would
whole
show up for
streets is
that.
lined up with
Yeah.
food
Maybe-
trucks.
You know why that'll work? Everybody walks into my place, there's always going to be food trucks.
Absolutely.
Before it starts.
Yeah.
And then when they come down, where are the food trucks?
Right.
They come down for that, they want the junk food, that's what
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want the elephant ears.
But eat my kale and
right,
all
tired
week
of the
long.
kale and stuff,
I want to
yeah.
binge this Friday, you know?
Yeah.
Food
Food
truck
trucks
first
is-
Friday.
Yeah, they're
It has a
very,
sound.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That wouldn't take anything other than just booking it,
yep.
really.
The chamber does that, they combine it with the art show up at the Mount Union.
Right.
Because the Mount Union art show was sucky, but once they added those food trucks, then they had a ton of people and all the food truck vendors were so happy.
The other thing is
Thank
just
you.
like they do at the park. You guys been in the park when they do the thing? They got all them food trucks down there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
guess what they are? They're all organizations. The Ruraltons, the Republican, the
Yeah.
Democrat,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the
Their
churches.
organization?
The churches,
The organization.
I had
the
no
churches
idea.
come out. and
Yeah,
they
the
have-
churches
the
come out
church
and
members
Swiss
come out.
burgers, you know,
Lions
and
Club,
Yeah.
the Rorton's
I
Club,
didn't
all the
realize
things like
that.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
gimme.
no, the
No,
Ruraltons
they
comes
were-
out and does
none
a
of
does
them
a
were the
root beer float,
commercial food truck vendors. They were all
all
you know,
local.
like, yeah.
And that's a good thing, because what they're doing is they're actually getting money for their organization that goes into the
Sure.
community. anyway.
And
Sure.
and
Yeah.
everybody
Agreed.
that's a part of the organization, the wives are coming down, the churchgoers are coming down.
Right.
They're all coming down to support it.
Right.
Yeah.
The friends,
The friends, yeah.
homies
Yeah,
coming
that
down to
was really good.
support
Yeah,
you.
So if we do a
The-
food
the
truck
loyalty
vendor Fridays,
thing.
we should do that with nonprofits and tell all the people that are the, you know, as opposed to the regular.
Yeah.
Okay,
vendors.
let's try and get maybe if it's okay, like let's get at least 10 craft vendors. Let's get 2 food trucks.
Now, are
For
they
the
gonna
wait, craft vendors for January event?
Yes.
Oh, I want to hold off on those. I think.
Why?
Oh,
Is it
'cause
problematic?
It's yeah.
That's
I,
what-
after chasing around businesses for spaces and stuff, I think we should strategize a little bit more about something more
Now,
more conducive.
if-
I mean,
if-
the honey guy. Like, let's get the people that
No,
came
he'll
out.
be come down Monday.
Yeah.
The honey guy already said,
Like-
you give me the alcove inside your building, I'll come
Let's
down in
try.
January.
Let's
Where are
not
they gonna
set
go?
a goal of how many.
Now, here's
Well,
the problem. I have Jupiter available, but if I'm at Thebes, I can't be at both places
Yeah.
to oversee it, you know, if there's issues, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, by fact, I had so many people come through.
But did you want
I
to
never,
let's-
I never
let's
stepped
collect
that
20
out of the
bucks a
door to
person.
see what was down the
Put them
street.
in their
Just
rest,
do one
their
place and
spot.
concentrate on it.
Let them stay inside.
I know.
Put it
and-
inside
well,
all the businesses.
I've
I don't
personally
know.
done
Or all the
Thebes.
bus-
Charge
That's
them, let the
kinda
money
my
come
baby.
back
This
into
is
the
where
sort
he's
of
like-
thing.
But
Well,
it's-
this
but
is
it
where
doesn't have
he's
the
like,
space
There were
so
not
we
enough
can do
businesses
It has-
to
No, no.
have-
You-
do
you
the
make-
spaces, you know.
I would
Four
give
or
up a
five
space in
tables
front of my
and
store if it was being charged $25 to go back into advertising.
So,
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I
what if-
definitely have a concern
No
though
problem
with
with
outside during January. I don't
Right,
think
that's what I'm
there'll
saying.
be people that'll do outside in January.
The honey guy will.
Okay.
And
so
I
what-
I
think
think
you
there
still
will
offer-
be. I think there is people,
I think-
just not those
just
people.
offer it.
Free.
Yeah.
And
Free vendors.
We
free
personally.
vendors outside, charge the vendors to be inside.
And then that money can go back into the pot for advertising
just
for the
adver-
next event,
and
the
just
next event, the
advertise
next
that.
event.
So,
But aren't we doing?
so this is the
for free
same.
right now?
Are we what?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
but
you're-
aren't we doing that for free right now? Don't you think we need to continue that for free? for a while?
Outside.
On
free,
the
but
outside.
Oh, right, right.
Anybody that wants an outside
Right,
spot
right.
free, just come set up, you're good to
I didn't hear it
go.
all.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
If you want an
So,
inside
but
spot
if
where it's
the-
sweet and
the core
warm,
group
you're
that's
gonna
right
pay
here-
the money to help us to advertise for the next event.
So-
The next
I
event.
have space.
For the building, you know.
She has at least
Plus,
one
plus,
spot because the
have
book
cooks
guy
in the
was
overhead
there.
for-
Yeah.
So we can take a few
utilities
vendors,
up
and
there.
I think we should. I think we should take a few vendors because it's just
But
going to
you might
bring more
want to
people
put
into our
yourself
stores.
out of the way and just post. You're interested in a vendor? Contact these people.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not
Maybe
going
that's
through
better.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fine. I just this is the exact same approach we
maybe
went with
it
the December 2nd event. And
Should
I'm
just
thinking,
be
like,
on us, the business owners. Maybe that's really. But
If you're
it's
looking for an
kinda through
inside
the
spot,
event, too.
I mean,
reach
I
out
can
to
do
me
the
first.
food vendors.
Yeah.
I know the list and I know how many people requested indoor from the December 2nd. And it's the same list of people I have. You know, that's my
But
only
we're
list.
gonna get more
Well,
people that are
that's-
interested.
No,
That's-
and that's good,
That's
but
fine.
I
They
think
do.
that
There was no
Yeah.
outside vendors,
Even
was
Well,
there?
we could do more
Except
if we
for the
took in
honey
all
guy.
the round
Yeah.
tables.
that was it. So
and it was
Well, we
warm
did
out.
12 and
Yeah.
just did the front side.
So-
He did
We could
phenomenal.
easily do
But
20.
He was
word-
excited.
What happens when word of mouth? Like you know,
His
what I'm
word of
saying?
mouth goes to the next couple
Yeah,
vendors.
he might want to bring someone, and then we got 2 outside people. Maybe we should just
Yeah.
organically
Okay.
let it grow.
If I
I
had
don't
So
know.
some-
since
if
I
I-
hired Ethan, and he part of his job description is he has to volunteer for our events, he could run Jupiter.
I was saying, as long
Me
as
and
I
Barb
have
could
someone
run here because we
responsible
only needed.
for Jupiter, make sure we don't have
Let's
kids
put
that go
Ethan there.
tearing stuff
so
or
let's
doing
do
this or
this.
that.
Are you trying to turn? Oh wait, so you
I
don't
would
want to
say-
use the one business anymore that we just use for vendor space, right?
What did you use?
The
Jack's.
514.
Oh.
You want to
314.
be it in one of the nice ones,
It
right?
would
Yes.
be much better
Okay.
to have it. I mean, Jupiter.
One, you can fit a lot more people
We
in.
can-
Two, it's
we can-
already set up. There's
And
no
it's
cleaning and
maybe
prepping.
a good advertising opportunity.
Well,
You
it's
guys
like
could
a
pass out
Jupiter, we
flyers.
can
Well, we would
limit
have
it to the
before.
front if we only have like 6 or 7 vendors, or
Yeah.
if we had 15 to 20, we could open up all the way to the stage, and we could get vendors.
So
and
basically,
we
just say indoor spots, 20 a table, and
Yeah, I mean it's your
Contact,
space, so
and then they
I
contact
certainly
me.
think you
Yeah.
guys should
then I'll put Ethan in charge.
take
So
of
advantage
I
of
will-
that.
I will do it the vendor list that I have now, I will send out, free event to vend outside. If you want to do inside, you can reach out to these businesses, and I will leave it up to those businesses whether or not they would charge. Jupiter, may
Right.
decide to charge. If they want to contact you and ask you for a space, it'll just be up to them.
Yes,
Um,
that's good.
and-
And I mean, I'll give up a space, but I'm gonna charge for it, and that money's gonna go back into the
Well,
advertising.
and I think
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
I think it could be problematic if one charges, one doesn't, and
But-
so
well,
on.
here's the
Well,
thing
It's
is-
almost,
No, I think
for
it should.
indoor. For
Well,
indoor.
no, I think the people should just, here's the people to contact and let it be between them and the vendors. And then you can decide,
Yeah.
is this a high school student that's handcrafting stuff? He doesn't have any money, I'll sponsor
And
it.
plus, if you're
But if
working
it's
your
somebody that's-
business, you're not going to make money otherwise.
Like my
So you
art,
should
I
keep
didn't
the
charge
money
him
that
anything
you
because I
Yeah.
didn't make any money.
made keeping it open. You know what I mean? My original thought for your business was instead of charging 20, charge 40 and put 20 to the group.
Well,
But
I think
whether
40
you
is kind of. I wouldn't charge 40. Now,
I don't
I would
know.
be good
If
now
they
if you
make
went.
money,
Here's
I
my
would
thought.
do it.
25.
Here's my
and
thought.
I would say 20 for that, and I got 5.
Here's
I mean,
my-
because just to cover the utilities.
Here's
you
my
to
thought.
make more
I set up for
five,
the,
though.
I
I
had to
set
clean up
up,
the heat.
You know.
I set up for the event at Hartville,
Right.
indoor event. Do you know what they charged me for that?
Right.
For 4 hours, cost me $75.
Okay.
Okay, that's what they charge. I know we're not quite the Hartville size,